got a Laffy Taffy in there. It's a banana. It's my least favorite, but I'm still gonna eat it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Krazy4Komps RC. I'm Tim. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate all of you. So we're back on that comp building wagon. In the first episode, I'll link it here if you guys haven't seen it.
So on episode 1, we did a kind of an introduction to this season. We kicked it off with doing a teardown. This is my C2 from last year. Took it to ECC 2023 at Little Rock City. And yeah, it basically is a Ground Fox Artful Dodgers chassis set up around a VFD twin, F10 portal axles. It's got some brass up front, some nice electronics, a 10 shooter Holmes Hobbies Mamba Micro X2. Here you can also see another vehicle that we did a teardown on in this episode, four-wheel steer Capra. I actually really like both of these trucks. Just trying to be a little more economical going into a new, comp season, just getting trucks ready to go. In the episode, kind of talk about, really don't have anything lined up yet, but we do intend to compete in all three classes when we do finally decide on the next competition. Getting to see a little bit of time lapse. Lots of parts came out of these. Some parts got swapped over from the Capra into this truck. Because you guys will see later on in the series, I have plans for that old C2. Unfortunately, the Capra got dismantled pretty good. I really wanted the axles off of it for a class 3 build. It being four-wheel steer, being Capra with, a lot of benefits to that, but definitely go check the episode out if you're interested in seeing it. But that's enough about last week. Let's jump right into the build, start introducing some new stuff to the channel, and you guys can see what my plans are for class 2 this year.
In front of me right now, I have the backbone, the heart and soul of my new class 2. Pre-ordered this a while ago, super pumped. It just came in, so I want to show it off to you guys. And we're gonna get it built and get some things mounted up to it. I'll probably have to put a few different things as placeholders on it, but we should be able to get it to at least a roller, potentially electronics in it as well, here very, very soon. So what is it? If you're into the comp scene and you know some of the big manufacturers, you might recognize the sticker. Or you may recognize this cool kind of forged carbon fiber that has some color inside of it. I'll get you guys some nice close-ups of this, try to capture those colors. But this is the Jekyll and Hyde kind of re-release, I guess, from Corrupt Carbon Works. I'm not a comp flat rail builder. I've built 2 flat rails so far. Both were from Artful Dodgers. Both were direct drop-ins from other vehicles. The one was a kind of a chassis swap kit for an Enduro. I got rid of that one. And the other one was actually in the last episode of Krazy4Komps season 2. And that was a VS410 Phoenix. They also make a VS410 standard swap over. We wanted to go more toward a traditional builder's kit. One of the, household names in competitions. There's Brazen Scale. There's obviously TGH, G-Speed's huge. Corrupt Carbon Works, though, definitely kind of caught my eye, especially with the style of these. You can get them in a couple different colors for this, forged, embedded colors look. And I chose blue. Was really torn between the green. I think there was orange I really liked. The red looked great, too. So I really couldn't choose, but one of the cool things about this is like a 3-piece, per rail design. You get your center section, your rear, and your front. This is obviously your rear. It's the most straight portion. This is a very forward bias. If you're familiar with Brazen Scale, their high-low is also a very forward bias chassis. This would be a great chassis for C3, but we're going to run this in C2 because I got other plans for C3. But let's just kind of do an unboxing real quick. You guys have probably seen the chassis if you're interested in this. If not, do some searching, check it out. Sell this in 3 different options. You can get it rails only, you can get it rails, transmission, body mounts, everything else besides the links, or you can get the full kit which is links included, rails, the transmission, everything basically you need for the entire chassis. So that's the option I went with, and the links are basically set up for an F10, and it's about a 12.5 inch wheelbase. So right in that sweet spot, a little bit longer than 12.3, not quite stretching out to the 12.8. So the longer you get it stretched out, you do start to hit some Sorka concerns with overall length of your vehicle, especially the wheelbase. So we're just going to tear into it. I haven't really looked at it at all, except for these pieces, and they look awesome. So obviously I have another one of those. So those are matching rear pieces. You get two, and you get this big old box of everything else. So let's find out together what's in here. This is a Techno. It's a short little dog bone style, and this is actually for your top shaft. This uses a forward motor mount, with a spur on it, and then transfers via top shaft to a transfer case, and then that gives you your output to your front and rear axle. Again, you guys give me feedback. Try not to crucify me too bad, because I'm not claiming to be an expert, but just trying to put information out on a couple different options and bring you guys along for my journey. So these are the front pieces of that 3-piece rail, and you can tell they're the front because it has the Jekyll and Hyde logo on it. Looks really good. This also comes with drive shafts. So these are your deluxe fab cut to length drive shafts. Obviously, being an extremely forward bias, just like the Brazen Scale high-low, you have a pretty short front drive shaft and you have a really, really long rear drive shaft, as well as rear lengths compared to the front lengths. So we do have two of those. This one's quite a bit shorter, so that's our front drive shaft. That's another from Deluxe. Deluxe makes awesome stuff. This is part of the forward motor mount, I can tell. We have a specially designed skid for Corrupt's transmission, and this is from Fish's Crawler Parts. Real common, real popular brand when it comes to skids and body mounts, things like that. It does have Corrupt Carbon Works kind of engraved or machined into the bottom. This seems looks like an SLS printed, so it should be pretty strong, and looks like a pretty decent part. It's kind of got those set screws for your links already kind of pre-threaded, so that's really nice. You don't have to worry about losing them. They're already in here. We got our transmission parts, everything to make the transmission work. So we'll have to figure out how to put that trans together. We got servo mounts, and this is from Fish as well. Not much to say about these. Looks like they got brass threaded inserts. That's nice. It's a plastic piece, but you do have like actual metal on metal, so you can use some Loctite and get things really cinched down. Real minimal though. Not a lot of extra bulk, not a lot of extra weight here, so I do like to see that, especially in a comp truck. We got some more body mounts. These are from Fish as well. I think these are called the Unicorn body mount system. They use kind of a thread-on nut, but they are a plastic, so you keep the weight down, and you only have to worry about one front and one rear. You can run more, I guess, if you wanted to, but really no need to. It's going to cinch the body down just fine. Panhard, it's a small little upcharge, but felt like it was needed. So here's our bag of links. These are titanium links, and I don't think you have a choice of stainless, so you get a little bit smaller diameter. You save a little bit of weight over stainless, and they're really, really strong. So we got bent lower rears. There's a couple other bent ones in here. You got to figure out where those go. You get all the rod ends, you get the pivot balls, and it says right there 12.5 inch wheelbase. So good to see. I can definitely see the infatuation with carbon fiber. It is, there's something about it. It's just really, really cool. These are shock keys. So these are going to be for the rear. So you actually get, bolt-on shocks. You get lots of different adjustability in there. So those are nice. I apologize, guys. I'm trying to figure out exactly what all this stuff is for. But looks like we have everything we need here. We definitely have some plates to put the transmission together. We've got a cross brace right here. And then we have some other stuff for the forward motor mount. So I am going to do a little bit of homework. figure out how to get this trans put together. But before I do that, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, I've got a brand new set of F10 portals. That's what's going on this. Before I get started on that trans, let's just walk you through what else my plans are for this truck. So I got a brand new set of F10 portals. I love the steering on those. I might even shave the bump stops down a little bit for this truck. Try to get just maximum steering. The overdrive isn't quite as high on this corrupt transmission as it is on the VFD on the high overdrive mode. But since I competed with that last truck and built that last truck, Vanquish actually came out with a lower profile brass portal cover for those front F10s. The problem with the other ones were the way they were cut, the way they were machined. You basically had to run a pretty high offset for your SLW hub. So what this does, this actually allows you to kind of bring that all in, and you can run as narrow of a hub as you can, and you're not going to have any issues. As long as they'll clear the portals, they should clear this. So I think I'll be able to run the 225 SLW hubs, kind of suck those wheels in a little bit more, and have a little bit more wiggle room going through those gates. I'll tell you, at ECC, there was at least 2, maybe 3 gates that had I been a quarter to a half an inch narrower, I definitely would not have hit. Now I am going to lose a little bit of side hilling ability, not going to have quite as wide of a stance, but I think that'll be somewhat negligible. So looking forward to using these on those new F10s I'm going to have to build. No plans for brass in the rear, but I do have some brass that I could use on the rear if I wanted to. Additionally, I talked in the last video, I think I do plan to run my Mamba Micro X2 I pulled out of last year's comp truck. That's a 10-pole censored brushless motor from Holmes Hobby, 2700 kV. Really nice motor, really smooth. I think that's probably what we're going to run in here. We're also going to run an RS 800 V2 from NSDRC. Tons of power. Really looking forward to using that. And the winch I'm a little bit undecided on. We'll see what the overall weight is on the truck once it's pretty much built. I have an idea on a body as well. I've been working with a guy on Instagram, and he's got a body. He's been painting it up for me. So once I have it, I'll definitely shout him out and give him all the credit he's due. And a guy he's working with as well to do some 3D printing to kind of dress it up, scale it out. So we got a really good plan, but right now all we got is a big old pile of parts. So I'm gonna get the GoPro set up, get the time lapse rolling, hit you guys with some soothing music, and before you go, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the Jekyll and Hyde and my plans for this year's C2. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.